Hello everyone, so I'm starting another utility room here. This is the third one I've done. It's not the same kitchen over and over you're seeing in my videos. And what I'm going to try and show you today or in the next couple of videos is me basically cutting this big 1,000 wide corner tall unit over this boiler unit and heat exchanger. It's not ideal putting these in a cupboard, but I'm going to make it so that all of the front and everything is demountable so that it can be easily accessed for servicing. So that should be fun. I've got to pretty much get set to this unit. I'm going to take the back out, take this blank side off, and then see how much we've got to hack about. It's not going to be the end of the world that I'm hacking the unit because, as I said, realistically it just becomes a kind of boiler cupboard. So anyway, I'm going to do my best to show as much of this as I can, and hopefully in the end what we're going to see is that corner unit nice and fitted, and then there's a wall unit and a base unit with some worktop and a space for a washing machine underneath it. Hopefully what I'm going to show you is how I'm going to make the whole thing demountable on just maybe half a dozen or so screws so that it can be got to. So we've got lots of wires and things to accommodate as well. Most of those will go sort of up through the back, but one of the biggest issues we've got here, and I don't know whether the plans have changed as we've gone along, with this socket here is only about 500mm from that wall, so it will come unfortunately behind this gable panel of this tall unit. So I'm going to have a word with the Sparkies and they're going to have to move that, so I hope they get here soon so it doesn't hold me up. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to get all this slotted around, how much of the unit's going to be left, but I've done it on the other one so I know it's going to work. So let's get some kit out and attack this. Lose all its rigidity now. I'll take this back out, it's going to be all wobbly. There it is. Right, not any of that. Won't be any of that left. Okay. There's that there. Super. Right. Next, we'll take this side panel out next. Fortunately, the other one just like a little pocket screw here, which is really easy to undo, which is great. Sorry if I'm in the way of the shot, but the utility's only small and I can't get the camera far enough back. Oh, excuse me. Hopefully that should be it. Lovely. There. Woo. So it's super wobbly now, so what I can do now is, now I've got all that out, I can now take some measurements and start to cut this end panel, this end gable that goes against the wall and the floor out for all these pipes. So see if I can get some of that. Right, I put some marks on and now I'm just going to attack with the nice coarse blade in my jigsaw. So let's get it on, see how we got on with that. Right, that's that out. Let's have a rejiggle, see if it fits. Right, let's do a fair bit of that out. So hopefully that'll fit around there. I might have to take this section out and make this demountable yet anyway, just in case that accumulator ever needs to be changed. Had to take a little bit out the top here as well, or just got to cut that for this bottle vent on the top, just in case that needs access or changing. So I'll just quickly do that now, and then I should be able to have a go at sticking it in. Right, I hope it's going to fit. Got to kind of move it without disintegrating. Hopefully, I'm taking the measurements. Might need some more nipping off it. Let's have a look. No. What in there? No, that's back there to the wall. I put a mark on there. Just got to go back in the bottom. So what's stopping us there? Ah, big cable, look. There. Ah! first time. So the issue we've got is, thinking about the future, is this unit really wanting to be a little bit wider. I know that people are going to be screaming at the screen, oh, you can't get to the boiler, but basically all this lot will be demountable. This has only got a thin cover plate on it, so there's 2 screws that pops off and all of the inside of that can be got to. So I'm going to make it so that once this is all finished and there's a wall unit going across there, base units in there, doors on there and an end panel on there, that I can just do it under a few screws, and everything above worktop height can be accessed, and everything below worktop height can be accessed from down here, just the circulator there and these valves. So it's not ideal, as I said already, but this is what the customer wants, so we kind of have to facilitate that. In an ideal world, all of this lot would be in a big sort of boiler house or cupboard of its own with nothing else, but unfortunately that takes up valuable storage space that everyone wants to try and maximise. So I think I'm going to have to end up making this panel be mountable as well, so fix another bit up the side of there. So again, if that accumulator ever needs to be changed, that can just be taken out. So yeah, it'll be interesting. It looks a bit of a lost cause at the minute, but the more I work on it, the better it will start to look. Actually, I've had a little look at this. I'm going to change my mind. What I'm going to do is take a bit more out of here and put a strengthener down the back there, so that they can get to the fittings down the back side here if they ever need to change this, and then they can pull it out, so it won't mean this will have to be demountable. So I'm going to pull that back out, take a little bit more out and put a strengthener bit down there. As I said, it's not ideal, but we've got to work on what we've got here. So have that out, rip it more off. Now. Brilliant. So I've just put that 50mm strip on the corner there, and that's strengthened that back up again now, so hopefully anyone that needs to get to that accumulator can get down either side without having to take this off. So let's get that back in now, shall we? There, right, let's get that back in. Roughly in position. Yeah, that's better. I think we can get to that nut there, get to that nut there, and then that can just be lifted out. Taking the centre section out as well, because I'll make that, rather than fix through the top and the bottom, I'll put that probably on some sort of a carrier piece or bracket or something, so that can come out as well. So, okay, next we're going to level it in and start seeing I'm going to build this centre section up. Right, success. I'm happy with that now. So I didn't show it all just because I've been busy. Obviously I've cut a lot of this unit out here. We've got a slot in there for that bottle valve up there. I'm happy that although this is only ever going to be inspected, if it ever needed to be serviced or changed, it's fully accessible now. We can get to these nuts down the back here. All this will be open when you'll see when this corner panel, there's a corner panel comes off here. It's going to be split at worktop level, and then the worktops will run along here as a sink unit and some appliances. What I've done with this centre section is made it so it comes out. It's just got 3 screws, and I've left them slightly proud just so we'll number these as well and give these to the client or the service engineer who's going to get the service contract. We've got 1, 2, 3. Those screws come out, and then it's just on a little clip here. So what that'll enable that to do is that centre section can come right off then, and then the whole lot will be accessible. So I'm really happy with that. So what I'm going to start to do now is I've got there's a sink unit going in the middle there. I think there's a space for washing machine on one side and a tumble dryer on the other. And as I said, that worktop will then go into where that, I've got an end panel to put on there, which I'm going to do now and split it in the middle. And then the wall panel goes on it, and I'll show you as I come through it how it's all going to work. And then hopefully it'll just be a case of, you know, maybe 7 or 8 screws to undo to get it back to the point where you can access it like that. So, better crack on. Beautiful. So that panel's loose on there. I've cut that out there because obviously the wall unit goes against the work so we don't see it. So again, working reverse order to get that panel off and take the wall unit off, and then there's 2 screws on top. The joint I've made so it mirrors the doors, so that looks nice and neat. So we'll go back and back and start to move across here now. Put this base unit in here and get these infills and panels in here. Whew, a lot of work, but it's looking good. Right, there hasn't been too much actual carpentering action in terms of on camera, but I've been busy beavering away. So as I said before, that corner's all in. I've now got this sink unit in, end panel on each side, set forward 22mm. The builder, I think, is going to put a small boxing around there. They can't go too mad because you need the full depth of that cavity to get a washing machine in there. So what I've got to do now is put another end panel on this end, which closes that opening down to about 6'10" for the appliance that's going in there, freestanding appliance, but also takes the top of the worktop on this end. And then I've got to do the same on this side as well, put another end panel in there with a small filler down behind it. That closes down the cavity again to about 6'10", but also gives the skirting something to return into. So that's going to look great. So I'm going to crack on as quick as I can. Might be a 2-parter this, so I really want to show you it all finished when I get all of these other units in, the wall units in, the scribes in, and then I want to show you how quick and easy it is to basically demount it all so that we can get access to the boiler if anything ever needs to be changed. But we've still got a few hours of the day, so I'm going to crack on. Floor's a bit out of level. Look there. Oh yes. That's lovely. Yep, perfect. So another little filler to go down the back of that. And I'll screw that through the back. Perfect. Just a spacer piece, but it is going to be seen, so keep that nice and flush with that front edge. Should be alright. So that now just acts as another little filler there. And now what I'll do is put that up against that end panel there and screw in through the back. I'll put another one on the back here as well, and I can get that on then. Superb. Right, I don't know if the lights are good, sorry, the sun's beaming in there. So that's those 2 filler pieces put on the back, packer pieces put on the back of that panel. And what I've done to be sneaky here is I've drilled 4 holes in that panel there that I can access through. I don't know if the light's going to be good in here, but I can get in there and screw through the back here. So what I'll do now is just put that panel up against there, fix it through the back, and that cavity is ready, and you'll then be able to see how the top of this end panel supports the worktop, but also that coincides with the break in this panel here, so it kind of hides the joint a little bit. That will be a sort of live joint between the worktop and this panel. It won't be able to be siliconed, but I think we're going to get some sort of rubber gasket we can put in there, you know, just to stop any spills. And obviously, again, as I said before, if there's a massive deluge in here, there's not really a lot you can do about that. So let's get that on. That's looking good. Right, let's have a quick check a few things. Should be all right. Check the level from there. Yeah, that's good. And on the back. That's good. Also check it on the front here, because I did check that. Oh, yeah, lovely. And also just along there. Yes. Right, okay, brilliant. So, my front's not going to work. Should be able to get it here. Let's see if we can get wind myself into this cover here. See if we can hold it and screw at the same time. Oh, yes. Perfect. That's nice. Excellent hidden fixings. Although most of this panel will be covered by appliance, it's nice not to have screws in it, or screws with caps on. That panel I put on earlier right at the beginning has helped give it something to screw into. That's one in here. Wow. Nice. That's superb. So, that's looking really good now. So as you can see, what we've done is formed our cavity for whatever machine's going in there. As I said, I don't know if you can see it, I had to make sure that all these end panels lined up down here, so they're the same measurement, same with that one on the end, and they're all in the same level. And then when the worktop comes, you can see here, when the worktop comes in, you see, it'll sit basically over most of that joint and hold this panel in. And then when we take that panel off, it should just unclip and slide out. So, just got this end to close down now. Right, so we're in really good shape. That's all of that base section sorted out now. So, I'll just quickly show you. I always make sure that I keep these fronts nice and lined up. You can see they're all in the same plane, in the level, and all parallel back to the wall. So I'm really happy with all of those. They're done. What I can do now is get some lines across to put this wall unit on, and then I can actually start to get sort of move round to the rest of it. I've got another 500 large unit to put on there, and then I've got all of these units on this other side to do. There's all the electrics behind that cupboard that I've got a hole out for, and I think there's I think there's a cooker going in there, so I think there's loads of data as well going in that one. So yeah, there's plenty to do. So I think this will be a two-part. I really want to show you this finished, and then I can take it all apart and show you how quick it is to get full access to that cupboard. Right, so coming time to hang this wall unit, and what I've done, because obviously this wants to lift off, it can't go on the normal sort of hang-on clips, because this is just a plasterboarded wall and no one's put noggins behind where the fixings are. So what I've done is found where the battens are, and or where the studs are, and I've ripped down 2 bits of 20mm by 45mm timber, which corresponds with the void that's in the back here. And what I've done is fitted those level to the top of the unit, and now what I've done is fixed a rip of this MFC to the top of the unit, so that what I can now do is basically offer this unit up, and this bit of MFC will sit on top of those battens, and then I've already pre-marked where the screws need to go, so I can hold it up and screw it on all in one, hopefully fluid motion. Right, here goes. Let's see if it works. Okay, that should now just slip on there. Oh, look at that. It's like we know what we're doing. Hold up there, just one hand. Now I can just put those screws in. Lovely, not to go too mad. Oh, I've hit a screw. Not that good, is it? I've hit a screw behind. Right, let's put that one in. Damn, wasn't that good planning, was it, Bellboy? Was onto a winner there. I'm going to have to put another hole in that, which is not nice. Up and down a little bit. Good. Probably put a wax over that hole, don't like leaving too many holes in it. Yes! There. So, to take that off is just a reverse of putting it on. That's not a very good position, is it? Whoa, super zoom. Yeah, so you saw me put that on, so now to take it off it's pretty much exactly the opposite. Even when all the scribes and everything are on, we'll snap the doors off, take the shelves out to make it as light as possible, hold it under those 4 screws, then just lift it off. Superb. I'm really, really happy with that. Onwards and upwards. Another one in. Good job the floor's not down. Right, I put the feet on this tall unit, about to stand it up. This has got really heavy duty legs on here, so I can lift it straight up without snapping the legs. But if you haven't got really heavy duty legs on your base units, you can check out the video I did here that shows you how to lift them up without breaking the legs. So let's get this up. Oh, up we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's lush. Give it a little spin. In position. Lovely. Yeah, it does make a difference when you've got those heavy duty legs. Super. Right, let's get that leveled in. So there you go. That's sort of the first fixed part of me fitting these units around this boiler and heat exchanger and stuff. So I hope it's kind of made sense to see what I've got to do and what I've done there. You know, it's not always straightforward of just fitting units back. Sometimes you have to do quite a lot of work to them to make them work in with whatever systems are in the house. As I said before, not ideal putting this in a cupboard, but it should be pretty easy to inspect it, and it should be pretty easy to maintain it, and if anything needs to be replaced, like the boiler, a heat exchanger or a circulator, we can demount all of that and get to that pretty quickly. So hopefully in the next video I'm going to show you this all finished and how quickly it is to take it off. And as always, I hope you found it interesting. Thanks for watching.